Welcome, people. It's Mr. Back. As you know, Forest lost 1-0 yesterday to Middlesbrough. Before we'll talk about it, and we've got the guests back in as well. So we're going to start with we've got now. I'm not going to call him Lee. We've got the microphone man. How you doing, microphone man?
Tired today.
Tired?
Yeah, it drained me. I gave it everything yesterday on that microphone. How to do that drum? That drum was doing my head in.
So now Lee's name is the microphone man. Next to Lee, we've got Glenn. How you doing, Glenn?
Very well. Good to see you, everybody. Yeah. We were in Nottingham over Christmas, so I just drove back today. But, wish I could stay a bit longer and see the next couple of games, but unfortunately we're down here now.
Below Glenn, we've got as people know, Matt seems like he's just woke up. Because he's like
well, at least I got the score right from yesterday. I think you just said 1-0, didn't you? So
he did.
Yeah. A news flash.
And last but not least, we've got Global. And we're happy to announce that we've got Danielle and Rafa. They're from Paraguay. How you doing, people?
Hi.
Hola.
How are you doing?
Hola, people in the comments. Give know how you doing, people. Danielle, Rafa, how you doing? You okay?
Fine.
That's all we need. That's all we need. So people, put in the comments.
It's incredibly hot today here, so we are dealing with that. But
that's fine.
It's great.
Don't worry about
it. It already speaks more sense than you, Dor.
Thanks. I'll take that as a compliment, Lee. But let people, I'm going to talk to everyone about the game yesterday, and as well, we're going to talk about the season, what's happened as well. So where should we start? We'll start with you, Lee. You went to the game yesterday. What was your opinion about the game?
I think from the minute go, in terms of the first half, we just backed off from them. We seemed scared. I don't know why. I think the fact that we didn't have the wing backs, the balance was all wrong. We were a bit disjointed at the back, and it just didn't flow, did it? And like I say, from the minute go, they was at us, and we just didn't know how to deal with it as such. At the end of the day, they were the better side. I mean, second half we tried, didn't we? You know, you can't bag the team, and you can't bag Cooper because he's done a good job considering where we were and everything else. It was an off day. We had a bad day at the office. No one particularly played well. Finback was thrown in at the deep end. He was a bit out of his depth, and it's not his fault. It's a lack of game time in the first team, knowing the players around you. Just everything was wrong yesterday. It wasn't a lack of effort. It just nothing worked, did it? I think our attack stems from the wing backs mainly, and that's what we lacked yesterday. Bit disjointed, my opinion on it.
Yeah, I was just about to say to Glenn as well. Like, we definitely missed Spence, and we 100% missed Lowe. Like as Lee just mentioned, Glenn, with Finn back, I felt sorry for him, and being against a team that's doing well as well. Finn back, how do you think he played, Glenn?
Yeah, I think it took him a while to settle in, didn't it? I think he was. We were watching from home, delighted. Well, from my mum and dad's place, delighted that it was actually on TV, so we could actually watch it rather than listen to it. And it appeared that Worrell was moving over to cover him, rather like Worrell was covering Spence against Sheffield United. When I recall, he was moving quite far across and letting Finback move forward. I mean, bless him, he's 19, and the world thinks he's going to be as good as Emma Raducanu is at the same age. He's not. He's nowhere near the same sort of performer yet. If he gets the same sort of support and development, no doubt he will develop into a player that we can rely on a little more regularly. But bless him, he made a few errors, a couple of situations where he played the ball square and it was intercepted and it was all a bit panic stations at the back. But the second half, I think, settled in. I think the fact that the gaffer, commented on him in the post match and said how delighted he was that he stuck in there and never gave up, and really, as disappointed as he was, that's actually really beneficial for him, because he was like you said, Lee, he was thrown in. He did a lot of good things. He did the right things on occasion. A couple of weighted passes weren't quite there, and a couple of passes he played square. The good thing I did see when he was taken up, I can't remember who was playing on the left side with him against him, but he turned him inside out and took responsibility for a situation where had he played it sideways, he'd have probably caused the counter attack. So I was really delighted to see that he was getting stuck in. But you're right. I think the wing backs are a massive element to what we do, and without Lowe, Colback, who we'll no doubt talk about, didn't quite offer the same thing. And Jed Spence didn't really, and the counter-attacking nature that we have, you're absolutely right, it stems from there, and he wasn't really able to provide for that, and that was a massive part of our attack, and we just invited pressure as a result. Not really
kept backing off, and as a whole, Glenn, the team were poor. You can't just lay it. No one can lay it on Finn back. He must have.
I'm not trying to say that at all.
No, not you. I'm saying it must have been for him like shocking because he's an easy target, isn't he? He had big shoes to fill, and he's not quite ready. I don't think. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's quite there yet. And that's not his
Let's
fault.
face it, if we were managing a team against Forest in that situation, we would want to go to Finn back, and we want to put pressure on him because he's a young lad who doesn't play regularly because of a lad that they've got on their books who isn't available to play. And that was the easiest way to do it, wasn't it? Colback was involved in the game a lot on that right hand side, but back was the obvious way. I think that's why Worrell was moving across the cover actually. Was the obvious avenue into to behind the back four, and bless him, he had a lot to do in the first half. Second half, I think he played a lot better, lot less. I think they ran out of steam a little bit at Middlesbrough. I think they worked really hard in the first 55, 60 minutes, and it gave him a little bit more of a respite. I think he finished well, but not a great performance across the board at all.
Matt, we spoke about Colback and like the midfield. I'm going to criticise him. Like I know Ryan Yates scored an own goal, and you can't put blame on him, but I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm missing Colback in that midfield because, like I said yesterday, both Garner, Yates, and even Ziganel got bullied at midfield. Got bullied, and Colback again. I think he did all right yesterday, left back, but we need him back in midfield, don't we? Soon as.
Absolutely, he's the only one who's got the authority. I mean, for me, Garner or Yates with him, it's okay. We never get bullied with Colback in midfield. He provides a base for everyone to play on. Going back to back quickly, he's just nervous. I think that's the thing. I think just as he was obviously incredibly nervous. He was kicking the ball forward early, which he doesn't normally do. Nothing quite worked. And he did all the easy things badly. And he did a few difficult things quite well. He could have saved us a goal at one occasion. And there was 2 or 3 occasions like that where we came across and virtually ended up at left back. So, give him time because he was thrown in and he knew he was going to be thrown in probably for the week. And he's probably shitting himself all week. And it was a nightmare, really. You couldn't have made a debut at right back in worse circumstances. So if it had been a normal game, it wouldn't have been so bad. And also, Spence is good. He's one of our main assets going forward. But he's not infallible defensively either. And, he cost us a goal last week, didn't he? So a little bit of perspective. Personally, I thought as far as the team balance goes, we gave them too much respect. We played the 3 centre halves, lost Colback from the midfield. Personally, I'd have put, if you're going to play 3 at the back, put Bong in. You can carry him. You've got a kid at right back, in for a penny, in for a pound, and gamble and put Colback in his right position. But it was just, we played the whole half virtually in our penalty box, didn't we? Yeah. Definitely in our half. They did the player positions and we had no one in their half the whole game, and they had their whole team in our half. We could have just closed down that whole half of the field for the first half. So you're not going to do well. The best thing you can say about the first half was we only let 1 goal in. And Samba played really quite well, didn't he?
Yeah. We'll talk about Samba later. I'm a bit iffy about Samba, but Rafael, you're next. Danielle, and what did you think about the game yesterday? People as always from Paraguay, so.
Y bueno, primero que nada, un poco triste.
First of all, a little sad.
Estaba muy emocionado. Yo pensé que iba a ser un poco diferente a lo que fue el primer partido prácticamente fue lo mismo.
I was very excited because I thought it was going to be different from the last game, but it was quite similar.
Y bueno, prácticamente lo que todos ya dijeron lo mismo. Fue un primer tiempo.
As everyone said, the first half was hard. It was bad.
En el segundo tiempo se notó que se podía llegar a un empate incluso.
The second half was better. We were close to a tie.
Pero tuvimos otra vez ese que siempre pasa, que cuando estamos más cerca del empate o de ponernos en ventaja, se va contra nosotros el resultado.
But it happens again when we are close to score, when we are close to the tie, we get another goal.
Y bueno, para mí, leí en Twitter que muchas personas se enojaron mucho con Samba.
I read on Twitter that a lot of people got mad at Samba.
Pero yo creo que es algo que definitivamente era...
I was one of them. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Why did you disagree?
Because I watched the goal. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt them, but I watched the goal this morning. I watched the goals back. And Yates, when he made that pass, not only did he overhit it, but he didn't even look. He couldn't have hit it in a worse place. Samba was caught well off guard with that. His positioning was off because he wasn't expecting it. Even the commentator said that's not Samba's fault, and they're right. It wasn't.
It wasn't. Samba was saying play it left.
These things happen, but he didn't even look, and that was the problem. And that set us off on a bad foot, really, didn't it? Like, I'm not having a go. I'm just saying. You can't blame Samba.
I don't think it was Samba's fault. I was just thinking his antics. I know he loves to play to the crowd. He loves it. And we love it. But sometimes he's frustrated. Don't he frustrate anyone? Come on, Glenn. Come on.
Well, he got booked, didn't he, yesterday?
Samba.
Their keeper did this. He got booked for time wasting when we were 1-0 down. We weren't time wasting. He was
20 minutes or something.
It was. Why would you time waste at 1-0 down? Then their keeper, I think, second half did exactly the same thing. The ref just nothing.
Yeah, but that's classic refereeing, isn't it?
Yeah.
They'll give them it's opposite normally. They'll give you a card in the 87th minute for time wasting, and it's too late by then, isn't it?
You got it after
not when you're losing and all that kind of stuff. No, Samba's Samba, isn't he? What do you expect?
But he's frustrated.
Make him cut his hair, make him sort of, I don't know, march onto the pitch like a robot. It's not Samba, you don't. That's what you get, You'll get amazing saves, but you won't get, get someone like Pantilimon. It's someone completely different to Samba. Take your pick.
Yeah. One of these days he's going to get lobbed as well, isn't he? 30 yards out of
time.
Yeah.
Right. If you watch people watch the game. Right, how far was Samba at his goal? He played. He was more of a centre. He was more of a DM than
halfway line at times.
More of a DM. More of a DM.
Yeah, he plays a lot of football, doesn't he? He plays.
That's what frustrates me. He's going to get lobbed one time.
Sweeper keeper.
No, he's
obviously told to play that way. I mean, personally, I like the way we play defensively now. You're seeing all our centre halves and our goalkeeper and our midfielders like Yates playing football, aren't you? And it's interesting. It's entertaining. It's more exciting than we don't get in their half a lot of the time. A lot of the excitement we create around our own box.
Under Houghton, he wouldn't have gone outside the 6-yard box and off his goal line. Never mind.
They'd
have had like 6 defenders back and forth, back and forth.
He just stood there.
Next one, I said we didn't test the keeper. I think I'm going to mention that Zignell chance we had, and I'll ask you, Glenn, if Zignell had that, if we scored that goal, do you think the game would have changed? I know Middlesbrough was playing high tempo, but it would have changed, wouldn't it?
Without a doubt. We got scored when we were on top, and we were on top in that period of play. We score then, And it's like most of the last 5 games where we've been behind at half time or led at half time and have come back from and won 2-1. And like you were saying, we can no doubt look at this later on. We'll look at the review of the year so far.
Yeah.
Under Houghton, we wouldn't have. We played very, very similar, didn't we, to we played with Houghton last night, and that was the disappointing thing after all those fantastic performances. I think the Zinkernagel miss at that point. And
but which one are you talking about? You're talking about the second one, aren't you? What about the first one in the first half?
That cross across from Graben and the poor first touch, that was unforgivable. The second one was atrocious.
Was incredible, yeah.
I expected the net
he was off within seconds, wasn't he? Didn't even see the board go up. He was just away.
The ball was still in orbit when he went off.
Yeah, I expected the net burst. I was disappointed because he was like, 6 yards out or something?
I mean, really, people have been saying, people on Twitter saying, send him back and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. But look, what would you give him in his school report for the term so far? He hasn't been that effective, has it? 8, would you really? I'd give him 6.5 at best. 6.5. He hasn't been that great. To be honest, I don't think any of the front players have had a great season. Not Brennan and Graben have been, but really, he doesn't. If he'd played well, if he'd played half as well as our centre backs, we'd have 6 more points on the board.
You just mentioned, Matt. Like I said, you just mentioned the front, like you mentioned Graben Brennan. When people used to slate Brennan about, I think there was a 4 or 5 games he was quiet. There's too much pressure on Johnson. People need to remember he's a young lad. He's first in Forest, and you mentioned Ziganel, Lolly, Martin's not getting chances at the top. Taylor, he's struggling a little.
But you need your senior players, don't you? Yeah. It'd be like us expecting Finn Batt to win us the game. It's not his job. He's the guy who needs the help. He needs the other team, the rest of the team, to support him. That's why you need Cole back in, centre midfield. It's why you need Graben leading the line, and it's why you need Zinkernagel having a big influence. Even if he's not scoring the flashy goals and things, he has to make it easy for players. Not kick the ball off, not lose possession. He's got to be the smart one. He's not going to get any better. He's an established, seasoned professional who's played at a high level. So those are the guys who've got lifters.
Would it? Colback wouldn't have played that ball back. What Yates did, would he, mate?
Yeah, sorry, I was just making a stupid comment about this.
Yeah, well, I don't know why so many Forest fans have so many agendas about players every 5 minutes. It's like they've seen nothing. They've seen 5 seconds they've seen him kick the ball 6 times, and they want to write players off. It's ridiculous.
What was that comment, Ben? I didn't see it.
It was stupidness. Finn Back useless. Send him to Derby. He's 18 years old.
19, yeah.
He's learning his trade. Give him a break. Like he was thrown in at the deep end. All the pressure was on him. Send him back.
Rafael, you just mentioned Samba. What do you think of Samba?
Samba.
Para mí es muy bueno. Yo le tengo mucha.
To me, he's really good. I have faith in him.
Is he crazy like you? Is he crazy like you?
Yo me di cuenta. Puede ser.
Maybe.
Quiere ser como Chilavert.
He wants to be like Chilavert.
Yo me di cuenta que es un arquero que sale mucho, sale jugando demasiado.
He plays out.
Sí, juega, sale más afuera.
He plays a lot out. Like
Chilavert.
He plays like Yates, don't he?
Por eso yo no le culpo a uno del gol.
You've got to ask them about their man, though, haven't you? You've got to have a big section on and about his engagement and everything.
Yeah. Rafael, what do you think of Ojeda? What do you think of Ojeda?
Sorry?
What do you think of your Paraguay friend, Ojeda?
What was the question?
What do you think of your Paraguay friend, Ojeda?
Ojeda, Brian. ¿Qué piensas de Brian?
Ojeda. Mejor. Yo creo que tiene que jugar.
Has to play every game.
But who would replace though?
Él es muy bueno, él es un tipo muy bueno. Yo creo que
Who would replace?
esos problemas que nosotros tenemos en el medio campo se podrían resolver con él.
He's a great option to fix the problems or issues that we have in the middle.
Porque él juega solamente.
He plays everywhere, not only in the middle.
Yeah, but who would
Eso
replace?
demostró en Argentina y acá en Olimpia.
He's gonna sack
Show
Zinkenova,
that
isn't he?
here in Paraguay and in Argentina.
Who would replace though? Yates or Colback?
Don't be daft. Don't be daft. Don't make fun.
No, next question. Yes, let's say I saw on social media, everyone saw on social media, like the Forest one defeat, a few fans going mad. But people need to remember, like, it's a second defeat under Cooper. And people are mentioning, like, the substitutions. Mention, like, and this is another topic. I'm gonna come to you, Lee, because Lee mentions him 20.
I know what's coming.
And I'll talk to Glenn and Matt about it as well. And this is my opinion about Carvalho. Right.
I know your opinion.
He come on against Hull. Hull, and he did the dirty work, defensive wise. But I'm not interested in. I'm more. When we go forward, I want him to do something, and he's not done nothing. Lee,
give him the ball then.
Yeah,
Give him the ball.
Yesterday, I think he did 2 passes. He made 2 passes, good passes. Don't get me wrong, 2 good passes.
If no one's supplying him the ball, what's he supposed to do? He's going to look like he's not very good. Look at Zink. How much ball did he have? What did he do? So you can't always go in on Carvalho. You can't always go in on Carvalho. The guy gets 10 minutes here, half an hour there, 20 minutes there. Is he the answer? Well, it's not looking like it, is it? But if anyone can get it out of him, it's got to be Cooper, hasn't it, what he does. But you can't just, every time Carvalho comes on, he's a target. It's worse. It's getting worse than the Yates thing, isn't it? Where everyone was at Yates all the time. They're doing the same with Carvalho now, and the guy's a young lad. You know, it's not his attitude. He wants to try hard. I don't know what the answer is, but you can't just pin everything on him all the time.
My problem is, like,
talent.
I mentioned Cafu. Like, Cafu, he came on against, I think it was Peterborough. He came on against Swansea. And I personally think he's been fantastic. Now
what position did he play, Ben?
Huh?
What position did Cafu play?
He played more.
Did he come on number 10 or did he play in his normal role?
Number 10.
He came on number 10.
What, against Swansea?
Cafu.
Yeah.
Come on, though. How many games has Cafu played?
Hello.
And how many things has he done? If he hadn't scored that goal, it would be 1 Rabona and 0 goals.
Exactly.
He's never created a goal. He's scored one now. Well done. It had to happen. You know, the law of averages, it comes into play. But come on, we're comparing apples and oranges. Carvalho's played about 15 minutes in the last, since lockdown started.
Do you think he should get more game time then?
Well, I think, look, you know what he is. He's going to produce bits of magic now and again. You know that. He's not going to do it every minute of the game, else he'd be the best player in the world. That's not him. He's not going to run about.
I want him to do well.
He needs a consistent run of games. You can't give him bit parts, and because he hasn't done it in 10 minutes, that's it. He's gone. You can't do that. No player can play like that.
But who has? That's what I'd like to know. If you look, Yates played every game, and he wasn't very good for loads of games, and now he's exceptionally good since Cooper's come in. Fair play. There's no debate now. Yeah. There was no debate. He should never have got picked previously, and there were people that deserved a chance. And now you can't drop him. Fantastic. Carvalho hasn't been given a chance. You can't. It's, you know, the number of people that suddenly say, "Oh, he's a bad player because he's not getting picked." No manager's picked him.
I'm not saying that.
If you think getting picked by Houghton or Sabri, when Sabri lost his mind, is a sort of stamp of approval.
Exactly.
Forget it. Forget it. He wasn't picking good footballers.
Glenn,
That's
what do you think, Glenn?
Honestly, I was amazed that Cafu didn't come on.
That's the point.
Between my old man and I, we were looking at this. January sales is coming up. They're looking at the shop window. Honestly, our opinion, they were looking to get rid.
But why would you ever pick Cafu? Why would you ever pick Cafu? Unless you want that, unless that's what you're looking for, that's what Cafu gives you.
He's one point here, 2 points. He can win free kicks and he can run around a lot.
No, my point is what I'm trying to say. He's come on against Peterborough, he's done well. He come on against Swansea, he's done well. Cavallo's come on.
Cafu's had about, I don't know how many games. He's had 40 games and he's never created a goal. I mean, if you want someone to wave his arms around.
No. He come on
and
again.
He has scored one goal, I'll give him that.
No. Ben, Carvalho's role's further forward. If you're not passing the ball, he's not going to do anything.
Lee, what I'm trying to say,
Cafu's deep.
I've been playing as a number 10. That's what I'm trying to say, Chop.
He was deep.
Yeah, but Cafu's not a number 10.
He's
only a number 10 in Houghton world. He's only a number 10 in Houghton world. He's never been a number 10. You might as well say Colback's a number 10.
He's not a number 10. He's not a number 10. My point is, he come on against, I think it was Peterborough at City Ground as a number 10 for his energy.
I thought he played a bit deeper than that.
He's absolute rubbish. If he's the answer, what's the question?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about performance-wise.
He's saying he's better at number 10 than Carvalho. That's what Ben's saying.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, Lee. I'm saying when it comes to confidence, if Cafu scores,
if someone's putting you down all the time, you're not going to get confidence. If you're not playing consistently, you're not going to get confidence.
This is going to be mad. Right. My point is, what I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to say Carvalho, don't bring him on. What I'm trying to say, Cafu's played well against Swansea, scored. His last 2 games, he's not come on. Carvalho,
thank God.
He's come on against Hull. He did the donkey work.
Yeah, he did his job.
Yeah, but that's not his game though. Anyway, personally, I don't think they brought him on at the right kind of games. Anyway, it's not what he's made for, is it? It's not his thing to dig us out of a hole. Look, they brought him on yesterday. We never got the ball in their half. What's he going to do? What's the use of a guy who's going to play a little tricky ball through when we haven't even got towards their penalty? We haven't had a touch in their penalty area. Really, there was no point to have him yesterday. You might as well have brought on. I personally, like I said, would have probably brought on Bong and bloody put Cole back in midfield. Then at least you'd have a foothold you'd have something to play with. Right. And I'd probably brought on our friend Hayder.
Yeah. Let me ask Raphael. Raphael, can you hear me? Right. We mentioned about Carvalho. What's your opinion about him? Like, everyone talks about him. What's your opinion about Carvalho? Can you hear me? Daniel, can you hear me, Daniel?
They fell asleep.
It's you, Daniel, can you hear me? Okay, we can. Daniel.
No, but look, Carvalho, when he played a lot, he did all right. And I thought his success percentage when he played under Karanka, he was poor. Oh, here we go.
No.
No. No.
Y que no quería no.
All I heard was no. No, that's
a mí no me gusta.
Wi-Fi company.
All I heard was no. That's all I heard. Right.
Take that.
Ben, I'll translate. You said Carvalho is amazing.
Right. Let's put it straight. And people in the comments as well. What do you think about Carvalho? Do you think he should play more games or not? Lee, yes or no? Give him more game time, yes.
Yeah, he needs consistency. He's not going to find it if he's bit parting. I'm not saying playing full game, but run a games. That's how you get a player's confidence up.
No,
let him have a free roll and do his job.
Sí.
Oh, sorry. Go on, Paraguay.
Go on, Rafael.
Go on, Rafael.
Decirle, amor, que sí es para mí, o sea, yo le vi jugar a él.
I can't hear him. I think I can't hear him. Right. We'll try again. But what the point is, whoever represents Forest, I want them to do well. I just feel like Cafu's not the number 10. I'm not saying that he's number 10. I'm just saying it's the last 2 games that he played against Hull and Swansea, he was doing okay off the bench. Carvalho's come on off the bench twice, and he's not done what Cafu's done. I know he's not played much games.
But they've not gave him the ball.
Yeah, but the point
in
is,
the right situation.
will he ever? You know, what are you aiming for? What's the ceiling? Carvalho could be the best player in this league. If Carvalho played every week, he'd potentially be one of the most influential players in the league, like he was when he played every week. I'm not saying he would be. He wouldn't be starting next week. But if we invested in him and played to his strengths, then maybe he could become a useful asset to the team. But coming in bits and pieces, he'll be worthless. It's a distraction. Cooper should be either saying, forget it, because we haven't got time to do the Carvalho project now, or he should be figuring out a way to use him, to make him work. And in my opinion, we've got nothing much is working in the final third. So I would have, it's difficult. He's learning his whole squad and he's trying to integrate all these players. Lolly's getting injured. Maiden's getting injured. Maiden's not the finished article. Zinkernagel's the senior one. He's letting them down. You know, Graben maybe hasn't got the energy. There's lots and lots of issues up front, and he's trying to juggle them all and make the best of it. If you could have a guy like Carvalho that could offer you an option, it would be a huge help, I think. But it's hard for him to do that. And I would have liked to have seen him being able to play him a bit more and actually establish that. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
There's another player that we're going to mention. They've gone now. And this is the first time he's come on. And I personally thought when he come on, he played great. I'm talking about Silva. And as a winger, and I don't know if Lee agrees with me, he come on good, didn't he? That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think he did. And do you know what? I think if we'd have had wing backs, he'd have been flying, because they didn't play the ball over the top for him to run on and use his pace too much. They didn't utilise it as much as I wanted to see it. I don't know if anyone else agrees, but that guy can eat the ground up. Like he's faster than Jono. I can tell he is. He is faster than Jono, I think. And if you get the ball over the top to him, he's going to cause problems. Obviously, we don't know what his end product's really like, because he's hit the corner flag and hit the post, so it's a bit hard to judge, isn't it? He's not had a lot of time, but I think on the wing, he could be quite useful. Up front, I wouldn't do it.
What do you think?
He looked good yesterday. He looked decent. Again, it could be confidence thing, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think if he has a bit more game time, he's not gonna lift his head and put that on the right post. He's gonna score. And I think that all he needs is a goal or a bit more minutes, and he'll have a bit more. You know, I don't know how much, 200 grand from West Ham. I think that's a decent amount of money to spend so far. I have a suspicion he won't be around much longer if he doesn't feature that much in the next sort of 3 to 4 games. I hope he has a bit more game time, but he should have scored yesterday. I think looking through some of the comments. I think some of the comments that people, you know, we lost one game in six or seven, and we might not be very positive about the game. I think Zinckernagel scores. He hits the target the first goal. We didn't have any. You were saying, Matt, we didn't have any touches in the opposition penalty area. We didn't hit the target. We had 8 shots. You know, we Zinckernagel has a better first touch on that cross from Graben and makes the keeper do some work. We might be up there. Zinckernagel scores, or Silva scores, or Johnson, who
gets a penalty,
may well have got a penalty or not. You know, it changes the game completely. I think we were, you know, one of the comments. Jeffrey he's a Middlesbrough fan by the sounds of it. that they played the best that they played for a couple of seasons, and we were on par with them for certain parts of the game. If we'd have had a bit of luck, and we've had a bit of that recently, haven't we? Really, we've had a bit of luck. And that's the one. We've had a bit of luck recently. The chances that we may not have had 7 or 8 games ago, we're now certainly having. And had we had those chances, we may well have.
See, I think at spells we made them look good because we invited them on. We just backed off and let them do what they wanted to do. They controlled the game. They were the better side. They were the better side, undoubtedly.
I mean, you're chucking the ball in the box and hitting the post and stuff. It's
irrelevant. It's either in or it's not.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But I mean, we defended reasonably well. I mean, considering
we did.
The centre halves were comfortable, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. Silva, I don't know. Is Silva realistically going to be an asset to us? Where we're going to be at the top? We don't know. We haven't seen him enough. But realistically, is he going to be the answer? No, I don't. He might be the second guy that can come on and occasionally score you a goal or create one at the end or something like that. Realistically, isn't he? I don't think he was that good yesterday. But look. We're the best team. We're the best team in the league at the moment. You take Chris Hughton out of the equation. He's the only reason we're not top of the table in the automatic playoff places. We're the best team in the league. And guess what? You lose games. We've lost our second game and people are getting silly. So, these players are crap. We've got to do this, get rid of them. Look, we're good enough to be top of the league with the people we've put out there. And we've had people who got injured. We've had plenty of problems.
To be fair, when Hughton was here,
they're lone players and stuff.
We just snapped their hands off for how we've been lately and just losing to games. If you would have gone, I'll take that all day by Christmas.
I tweeted that earlier on. Like when I saw the comments just this morning about
2 games, everyone loses.
When I saw
it's ridiculous. What planet are we living on? When
I saw the comment about those Forest fans going mad. I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying there's a few Forest fans saying, "Oh, we should be beating Middlesbrough." We didn't have we didn't have Spence. We didn't have Lowe. Me personally,
but forget that. Even despite that, we probably could have drawn that game. 1-3. 1-3, we could have drawn it, and we were dreadful. It's the worst we've played.
To be fair, under Cooper. Middlesbrough
and to be honest, we haven't played that well in the last 4 or 5 games, have we? Really, we haven't played that well. We can do a lot better, and when we do better, we'll be pretty good, won't we?
Yeah. 100%.
If we can get the players back, the players in the right positions, we'll be the best team in the league.
Just shows how important those wing backs are, doesn't it?
We missed it. I think that's what we missed. We missed the wing backs, but like you said, Matt, I think I agree with you. I 100% agree with Matt. Like we should be winning games, even if we haven't got Spence or Lowe, or like I said, we're missing players like Lolly as well. But it's not the point. We should be winning. We should be winning games, but it is what it is. It's just a defeat. I don't think Forest fans
wasn't good enough. It's that simple. We want. It wasn't that they was amazing. We just wasn't good enough. We didn't turn up.
But they were one of the better teams we've played, to be fair. It was unfortunate we played one of the best teams we've played, playing at their best, when we played the worst.
You've got to beat what's in front of you. You've got to at least turn up and make an effort. And it wasn't like a lack of effort in terms of all the spirits not there, any of that. It was just we didn't even do the basics right sometimes.
No, it was poor. It was poor.
Backed off. Yeah, it was just
another day. Zinkenagel would have just turned up and kicked the ball in the goal a couple of times, and the ref would have given us a penalty, and we wouldn't have scored an own goal. It wouldn't have taken much.
Bad day at the office, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to get excited about it.
I'm going to speak to Raphael and as well, people. But now I'm going to try and change the subject a bit because, like I said, we lost, but. It's nothing. It's just, it is what it is. It was a bad day at the office, and it is what it is. Right, people, I'm going to change the subject, like I said, and I'm going to do a round of how you lot feel about the season's gone. So, Raphael, Danielle, transfer this to Raphael. How do you think Steve Cooper is, as your opinion is so far?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Since Steve Cooper's come in, have you been excited since it's come?
Bien, bien.
I think it's fine.
Yo creo que está haciendo un buen trabajo.
I think it's doing a great job.
Y que bueno, hay que ver después de este corte, o sea, de esta mitad para la segunda rueda.
We have to wait after this break for the second round.
Después del mercado. Sí, sí, después
After
del mercado.
the sales. Mercado.
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand.
Es decir, es un poco complicado con el traductor decir.
It's sorry, but it's really hard for us to understand and for me to translate and everything. So my bad.
Don't worry about it. I get the same as to Matt. Matt's the same. We don't understand
I
it.
don't understand a word he's saying. It's another language to me.
Yeah, the accent is killing me. It's really hard.
It's all right, Danielle. Fine. Don't worry about it. Fine.
Okay.
I'm talking about. I'll talk to you. Your next league. It's been fantastic, hasn't it, so far?
Look, like I just said earlier, Ben, you think about it under Houghton, was it 1 point out of 7 games? You think if these games that we had, Reed and then Cooper, if we'd have had Houghton, would have probably got about a couple of draws. The rest, in my eyes, would have been defeats. So to be where we are now, I was scared we weren't going to get out of the relegation zone. So I'm happy. Like, we're still, we lose one. We're going to lose a few more. But it doesn't mean we're not going to be near the playoffs all round. And we might fall short this season. But considering where we were, I'll take that all day and then build for next season if we can. But, Middlesbrough are only 2 points above us and they're in the playoffs, aren't they, if I remember right then? Yeah. So losing a game, it's going to happen. Even the best teams lose. So what's been
your highlight, Lee? What's been your highlight so far?
Well, obviously, hearing you stream like a girl at Bristol City on your vlog was great. I enjoyed that one. And then you fell over, obviously. Winning 4-1 at Swansea, that was a good game, especially Cooper's birthday and that. So just the turnaround, just feeling positive like I want to be at the games rather than going when Houghton's sitting there like that going,
Lee loves it.
I'm bored, I don't want to watch it. From away, obviously, we didn't win, but I couldn't stop that game. It was awesome.
As everyone aware, Lee went to the game yesterday and got his microphone. So people on there, go and follow Lee on Twitter. His name is Microphone Man. So, Megaphone fan. So it's 2 games. Microphone Man, whatever.
I tried to counteract that drum. I wanted to stick it where the sun didn't shine, but you need to upgrade my megaphone for me, Dor.
I will do.
I need a louder one.
You're next, Glenn. Like I said, what's been your highlight so far this season? Can't hear you. No. Can't hear you now.
Yeah, that's a lot better. This part of the show is sponsored by hand signals.
No,
he's happy. I think he's all right with it. I think he's all right.
Right, Matt. Glenn, sort your headphones out. Matt, what's been your highlight so far?
The whole thing, really. The highlight was Houghton walking out the door, and everything after that has been amazing, hasn't it? Lazarus hasn't got a thing on Cooper. Who could have imagined what he did since he stepped in? He's done everything right. It's so refreshing to see a football manager being a football manager, treating his staff well, right down from the under-8s right through to the old season pros, and you get the right results. If you do the right things, you get the right results. He makes all the right decisions. He tries to win football matches, and he tends to win more than he tends to lose. And it's chalk and cheese, and we're in a perfect position, poised for the playoffs. And in all honesty, I don't think anything in our final third has clicked yet. I see some of the comments like, "Oh, how good are we going to be?" But if you put out 3 or 4 players, going back to like the Carvalho thing, if you put Carvalho on the pitch, you expect him to create 2 or 3 clear-cut chances every game, don't you? I mean, even on his worst day, and Brennan's and Zinchenko, whoever it is, Lolly and so forth, if we could put those players on the pitch, we can achieve a lot more than we have done so far. And we've lived on scraps going forward, and we've done really well. And it's so far been built on a strong defence and the 2 centre midfields being particularly good. But there's a lot of room for improvement, and we're sitting pretty. And all we have to do is get through the playoffs, be lucky with injuries, keep the fullbacks, maybe strengthen it slightly, and hope that people like Graben don't get injured. And if we could add some goals and 1 or 2 creative players somehow, whether it's Carvalho or getting Lolly fit or whatever, then there's, we've got every opportunity. We should be absolute certainties for playoffs. And we can even look at the top 2. But realistically, let's just settle for playoffs, not be greedy.
His interaction with fans as well, Matt. Like,
That
he'd be stood there like this, wouldn't it? Where Cooper goes around all the sides of the ground, doesn't he? And he gives it some. And you just want to see that passion, don't you? Hughton's just turning up to turn up.
It's someone that loves their job and knows what they're doing and is confident in their skin, and someone who had no idea what he was doing.
He appreciates the fans, though, doesn't he? You can tell by the way he acts and interacts. You can see it in his face and his expressions. Like, you know,
he's a breath of fresh air. He's the best manager we've had for a long time. And and you've got to give him every credit. And he's well liked by everyone throughout the club, and he will be successful because of that. I'm sure of it.
Can you hear us, Glenn? You can't hear. Can you hear us, Glenn?
He's gone old school.
Glenn, can you hear us?
He can't hear us now.
He can't hear us. They're kind of.
Down to 3.
Right, let's speak to Rick. What's his name? Rachel, is it Rachel? Danielle. Danielle, can you hear me?
Who's Rachel?
I don't know. Danielle.
You know what goes through his head sometimes.
Danielle, tell Rafa what's his best moment so far under Cooper.
¿Cuál es tu mejor memoria hasta ahora? Memory, you said?
Best moment so far this season.
Mejor momento de Cooper.
Para mí, de lo que viví o de lo que...
De lo que Cooper hasta ahora en Forest.
Y no entiendo la pregunta.
¿Cuál es tu mejor momento después de Cooper?
O sea, preguntarle cómo es el mejor partido.
Like the best game?
Yeah, best game, best moment.
Yeah.
El 2-1 donde Taylor dio la vuelta al partido.
¿Contra quién?
Así sí.
The one where Taylor, how do you say that?
Bristol City.
Scored 2 late goals.
2-1. Yes, that one. That one.
Where he screamed like a girl.
I didn't scream like a girl. It wasn't me.
No. The best moment of the season is Jack Colback scoring a goal. That's the best season. That's the best moment of every season.
It's Cafu. Against Swansea.
Cafu scoring is the biggest surprise.
And also the tie with Sheffield. He said the game with Sheffield.
Oh, Sheffield United.
Yes, Sheffield United.
Oh, it's 1-1, wasn't it?
Yes.
Había un video de
So Bristol City and United. Glenn, can you
hear me now, Ben?
I can hear you.
Okay. We haven't mentioned Huddersfield yet.
Huddersfield is a good
I
one,
think the performance against Huddersfield and the way that we played with such freedom, the headed goal from Graben, and everything since, I think that was my highlight. It's a highlight at the beginning of the process of the recent change in form, but I think that was a really critical game. I think we might look back on a season and see that being a significant part of the season, obviously with the change of management. But the way we played on that day, I think was a highlight for me so far.
Almost the catalyst, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, definitely. It was the players saying we want to play football.
Yes, stop defending. We want to express.
It was like Freedom Day. It was like end of COVID.
Independence Day.
In the World Cup all rolled into one. It was incredible. It was. You know, Lolly was posting, thank God, you know, it's like
we can apply for a bank holiday,
wasn't it?
Get a national bank holiday for it.
Yeah, that's right. That's what you want.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So people, what's been your favourite moment as far as fun? For me, and I'm going to say again, I think the Huddersfield game as well. That's one sticks out because that was a game that I thought, yeah, we've got a good squad. We've got a great squad. Houghton didn't know how to deal with it, and I said, grabbing since then has been fantastic for us. John as well. But the game has got to be Bristol City away. That game is the best game I've been to for a while. I didn't scream like a girl. It's not. Well, it wasn't me. So it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Lee, don't give me that face. It wasn't me.
Video tells a different story, Ben.
Lies. I edited it. I
manipulated, has it, Ben?
Just a little bit. I would say, like I said, I'm going to mention who's been the best player as well. So people in the comments, who you think your best player is so far this season. Lee, who's been your best player so far?
Well, off the top of my head, I've got a couple. One you'll expect, one you should expect, but he doesn't, I don't think, get the credit he deserves. The first one is Johnson. I think he's carrying a lot on his shoulders, especially going forward. A lot, obviously Spence as well, but going forward, a lot relies on his pace and him doing something to make things happen. Now, the second one is McKenna. Old-fashioned centre-half, no nonsense, does the basics well, makes very rarely makes a mistake. You know, you could name other people, like say Colback, people like that. But I think McKenna quietly goes about his business. He doesn't moan. He gets stuck in. If he could go through players and get away with it, I think he would. I think he'd be an hard nut. Like the old-fashioned Kenny Burns or someone like that. Yeah. He's just, I rate him. I think he's a good, solid centre-half, perfect for what you need for the Championship. So for me, it's sort of them two. And obviously you could throw Colback or Spence in. Because the way the season's turned around, you know, even like Yates, they all have their moments, don't they? So that's me anyway. I've named off the team really. But...
what about yours, Glenn? Who's been your favourite player so far?
I can't look beyond some of the ones you've mentioned, actually, although you mentioned half the team. I think McKenna is just absolutely incredible. And we like loads of people have been saying, massively goes under the radar, does his job really well. If a forward player had the opportunities that he has and makes the minimum amount of errors that he had, we'd be up towards the top of the table if the tide was turned. The way he plays, just goes about his business. He's never likely to be the one that's going to be the captain. Always works next to Worrell, who I think could or should have scored yesterday. Worrell actually, but McKenna, one of the more solid players at back there. I think even when he was playing under Houghton, my man Jed, got a lot of respect for him, and I think I'm going to go with another defensive player, although he's playing.
What's the? To be fair, Lee, shut up. Lee Tilson, shut up.
I can't look beyond McKenna and Jed Spence for me. Although Colback, Matt, no doubt will speak about Colback. Colback's been revolutionary. I think Matt and I have disagreed with the way Colback has played recently. Certainly the game against Wolves, when I saw him in the Carabao, he wasn't really given the same sort of guidance or support. Since Cooper's come in, he's been, chalk and cheese, completely different player, or arguably playing in a better position and playing in a role that he likes. And the fact that he's moving back into left back and is comfortable playing there and is in a position where he's happy to put a shift in. Although Matt, I agree with you. I think tactically Bong in and pushing him forward yesterday may well have been a better situation than bringing a Carvalho in and changing the formation at the back, perhaps. But those three players for me.
Matt, is it Colback your player? Has he been your player this season?
Well, I don't want to say the obvious thing, but no, I mean McKenna will always be the second or third best performer week in, week out. Yeah. Brilliant player, best signing we've made for donkey's years. unbelievable. He's not a glamorous player, and I'm amazed in a way Joe Worrell hasn't been mentioned, because you could almost say the same for him. And he's shown dimensions to his game again, like with Yates. I'd never thought he really had. You know, he's a good, solid, old-fashioned defender, but he's playing a lot of football. You know, he's had a great season, I think. To be fair, I think every player deserves credit. They all deserve credit for surviving Houghton. It was almost like, you know, I'm a footballer, get me out of here. They survived it. They got through the challenges. They ate enough donkey peanuts for a lifetime. And now they're getting back to being footballers again. So credit to every one of them. Up front, I think the attainment scores have got to be lower. Like Brennan, okay, fine. He's a young kid and he's played every minute of every game near enough. So you've got to give him a lot of credit, but there's a lot on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Going back to the question, yeah, I would give it to Colback purely because of the story of redemption, where he was told to pack his bags,
100%.
get off out to the northeast by Houghton completely wrongly. He's one of the most significant, influential players in the team, and when he plays, even if he doesn't play well, he's like McKenna. If those two guys, you have them, and you have Samba and Wall. You can have those four. The rest of them stand a chance of playing. If you don't, different story.
And then you've got consistency, haven't you, Matt? It
Yeah,
might not always be pretty, but it's consistent. And that's what you need in this league. Yeah.
Colback won't be player of the match hardly ever, but you'll win your games. When he plays in his right position, you'll win your games. Same as McKenna. You know, you won't go far wrong. You won't let in 3 goals and stuff like that. You look at all our games, when you have Colback in midfield, we've got control. And when we don't, we don't. And it's as simple as that. And who else was it? I just thought of someone else. Oh, I can't think who it is. But anyway, everyone's done well. Like I say, credit to all of them. Yates. I've got to mention Yates, because Yates is the guy. If our friend if he dropped Yates, he might have kept his job. So, but now you can't drop him. He's played brilliant.
Matt, he's even scored a couple lately, hasn't he?
Who are we talking about now? Yatesy? Well, yeah, and Colback.
Last night, you mean?
But honestly, those two have been fantastic. They've hardly put a foot wrong, and it allows the fullbacks to be attacking fullbacks. It makes the whole thing work. So yeah, you know, look, all of them have done well, but Colback naturally, of course.
Was it Danielle? Is it Danielle? Danielle.
Yes.
Ask Rafa, who's been his best player so far this season?
Sí, para mí también es Marquena.
Also McKenna.
Por el simple hecho de que ese jugador que hace justo lo que tiene que hacer y ya, o sea, hace su trabajo.
Because he's one of those players who do just what he has to do. He just do the job.
Y por el mismo motivo, o sea, y también...
How about Ryan Yates? Come on, you can't say Ryan Yates. Ryan Yates, come on.
También puedes decir Ryan Yates.
He can't understand that he's pissing himself.
Y Spence podría ser también uno, porque ayer se notó, o sea, a pesar de todo, se notó su ausencia.
And Spence could also be a choice for me, because yesterday we missed him. So you could really miss him in the game.
Yeah, 100%. I'm Ryan Yates. Everyone knows I like Ryan Yates. I'm not gonna lie. Jack Colback. I think Jack Colback is one that players has proved me wrong. He's been fantastic, and this is why I said to him, I miss him in centre mid. And I think if we played him in centre mid yesterday, I thought we would have won the game, because we got bullied yesterday. And for me, Colback, the goal against QPR, and not even that, he's been great as well. You mentioned McKenna as well, but for me, Jack Colback's been one of the players that's been great so far this season. So he's proved me wrong so much, and I can see the smirk on Matt's face at the moment at the time.
Thank God we got him back. You know, it's just a shame we didn't get him back the previous year.
Yeah. Like
He desperately wanted to come back. He didn't want lots of money. He's come back. He loved playing for this club, and I think he's starting to love it again. And hopefully, he stays for more than one more year after this one, and it will set us in good stead if he does.
Right, people. The hour's up, but like I said, thank you very much, everyone, for coming on. Raphael and Danielle, thank you very much for coming on my channel.
Thank you for inviting.
Yeah.
Like I said, people as well, Lee, thank you very much for coming on. Glenn, legend, thank you for coming on, and as well, Matt as well. If no one knows, Matt made me this as well. If anyone wants any merch, message him on Twitter or at Instagram to get a few stuff as well.
And get a calendar off, Matt.
Where the calendar? No.
And Mr. Wone, his best Christmas present this year was a portrait of his good self from his missus this year. So she put in a last minute order. So Ian Wone is sitting there at home with his portrait on the wall as we speak.
Legend, Ian Wone. Like, no, this is Ian Wone. Legend, great voice player of all time. Glenn, show everyone the calendar.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm looking forward to Sunday actually, just to start the month with Mr. January. There it is. Absolutely incredible. Came today. Need to find a space on the wall in here, but that's going to go in here. Maybe in my work. That's fantastic.
No, there's a lot of thought goes into the team selection for the months there. We had to drop a couple of people, unfortunately. There you go, John Robertson.
If anyone wants any merch from Matt, please go contact him on Twitter or Instagram, or give through me and I'll send you to Matt.
Use your commission.
Like I said, if anyone wants anything, just message me. But it's been a pleasure, people. Thank you very much to the Paraguay. Hola.
Hola.
Muchas gracias.
Oh, wow, isn't it?
Can't talk like that.
Yeah, shout out to Steve. Svin Red.
Svin Red.
Oh, Steve Red. He's from Paraguay as well.
No, he said he's from Nottingham. He just likes Spanish.
Oh, Steve Red. Shout out to Steve Red.
Yeah.
People, my next live stream is on Wednesday night.
Silly's getting involved here.
What?
Silly's getting involved on my computer there. Doing a bit of translation.
Right, people, like I said, I'll be on Wednesday night with a Huddersfield fan. We got them on Thursday. But like I said, people, Lee, Glenn, Matt, the Paraguay guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on the channel. If you're on to my channel.
There we are. Super Stevie Cooper.
It's been a pleasure, people, and I'll see you Wednesday. Peace and love. Up the Reds.
You Reds.
You